Hi guys, I'm Mary.
And I'm Brad.
And welcome to Fitness Tested. Be sure to like and subscribe to keep up to date on all of our videos and new reviews.
Today we are reviewing the Saucony Guide version 16. The guide actually does fit into the stability category, so you are going to have that good support through here. Coming from version 15 to 16, they did not change the support piece at all. So what you'll notice through here is it does look exactly the same as version 15, and we'll get into kind of some of the other specs as well. Really good support. Overall, it's a really good update.
This shoe, you know, it hasn't really changed much in weight. A women's 8 is going to be 8.4 ounces, a men's 9 is going to be 9.5 ounces. So considerably lightweight for a mid-cushion shoe. Some of the other specs that we noticed on it, the mid cushion hasn't really changed much. It's still going to have that power run foam, which is not too soft, it's not too firm, it's kind of in that Goldilocks region. So for folks who like something that isn't too soft but has a little bit of a more responsive feel, that's going to be what this shoe is aimed at. It also has their Holotech design, which is going to be the posting along the inside there. So it is the exact same from the 15. It isn't going to be too much different. It is going to be a little bit lighter weight. That's what that Holotech design is meant for. So it does have this prominent arch feeling, and it still has that nice support. It's just going to be a little bit lighter weight than what we were seeing in older models such as the 13 and 14. So the Holotech design is really, really good if you're looking for a stability shoe that isn't too heavy or feels too clunky.
For fans of the old Nike structure, so going back several years, this is one of the things I did notice with this shoe is you do have this piece right through here, which kind of is coming from the bottom of the shoe. And the reason why I said that old structure fans will like it is because Nike did used to input a cord that actually went from the eyelets down to the middle of the shoe to kind of help snug that up a little bit. I actually did notice that this did pull up on that arch a little bit more than what it did in the previous model. The 15 did have that piece as well, but I think it was more just for aesthetics and looks, because I don't really think it actually went down into the shoe like this one does. One of our tester, Seth, who you'll meet here in just a little bit, he did actually notice that it felt like it came up on the arch a little bit more, and I think that's what it is this piece does run all the way through the inside of the shoe, and I think it does connect on the inside of the midsole. And so what you're getting is a little bit of a snug as soon as you lace those down.
For sure. So jumping back into a few more specs on this shoe, it does have an 8mm offset. So it's not going to be, again, too high or too low. It's kind of in that Goldilocks region. So that's kind of what the theme of the guide is here. It's just kind of designed to work for a lot of different runners, a lot of different folks. So I really like that 8mm offset. Again, I think it's not too high, it's not too low. The other thing that I like about the guide here, and for a lot of other Saucony shoes, is it's not going to have a super aggressive roll bar here or have that really aggressive toe off. So for runners or walkers who do not really like that feeling of a shoe that kind of drops them off the cliff when you get to about right here on the shoe, this one is going to have it's going to be a little bit more flat. It's not going to have quite as an aggressive of a toe off. So if you like that, or you do not care for a shoe that has a really aggressive feel, I would definitely recommend this for your trainers.
Kind of going back into that arch a little bit, Mary talked about that Holotech technology that they've got going with this. One of the things that we would say, this is for someone who's got mild stability. For someone who likes to have something that fits inside that arch a little bit more, we do want to kind of make sure that you get into something like this along with a Curex insole, because then that is really going to fill in the gap within the arch. If you really like to have something that feels like it's just in the arch, putting pressure on the arch. I didn't really notice that it kind of pushed up, which is kind of indicative of some of the old models. So we're talking 12, 13, 14. Because that arch was so stiff in some of the old models, you really felt that arch piece there. When they went to this Holotech, it did take a lot of that plastic piece out and replaced it with a little bit of foam. So it kind of takes away some of the weight a little bit, but it still is going to give that stability. And so if you really have worn the guides in the past and you do like that feeling of having something in the arch, we would probably going to throw in a Curex in there just to make sure that you got that filled in.
For sure. I think the biggest update on this shoe is going to be the upper. So the tongue is going to be a little bit more plush, it's going to be a little bit more fluffy. So I think too that the shoe itself is just locking down a little bit nicer and it feels a little bit more secure. So I really liked that. I think it was really soft and it really did feel like I could get a really snug, good fit on this shoe. Not that the 15 was a bad fitting shoe, I just think that this is even better than what it was. So Saucony is continuing to just get better and better. I've been really impressed with this company over the last year and a half. They've done a lot of work and I think it really shows in a lot of these new updates.
Talking about the upper a little bit too, the version 15 was thin. It was a very thin upper, and this is something that Seth will probably hit on in just a second too, but it felt pillowy. It felt like flowy, yes. Like you couldn't really get it locked down to make it feel like it snugged onto the foot. And so a lot of customers were complaining how it felt like it crumpled up on that toe off. So that is something that they did change with this model. Much nicer update.
The Saucony Guide 16 is $140. We do have it at all of our locations or online. So if you want to buy it directly from our website, we do have it available. It is shop.fitnessports.com. We have both men's and women's, and this shoe does come in both regular and wide widths. So we do have a variety of different options for you to try. So this is Seth. Seth was our tester for this shoe since he is a mild overpronator and neither Brad or I have that. We are more neutral, so we wanted him to test it out and see what his thoughts were. So tell us what your overall thoughts were on the shoe.
Yeah, so the first thing I noticed with this shoe was the upper. Like Brad was saying earlier, the 16 is going to be a lot more of a thick upper than the 15. Not that it's like too thick or anything like that, but I think it just has a little bit more of a lockdown feeling to it. It feels more like most shoes will, and that it's not going to feel like it's too thin, too loose, anything like that. Also, I feel like this is kind of weird, but the laces are a lot different. In the 15, they were really like slippery and they wouldn't really lock down very well. I don't know if they changed with these ones, but it's a little bit better. It's just a little bit rougher material there. It kind of like feels like it's going to stay laced a little bit longer.
Was there anything that you noticed that was significantly different in the midsole or in the design of the shoe itself?
Yeah, so I did feel like the arch support was a little bit better. They didn't change the midsole, I don't think at all in this version, but like I was saying with like the little things here that really like lock into the midsole, it did give a lot more arch support and kind of felt like it was in the right spot. With the 15, a lot of customers were saying that the arch hit a little bit too far back and kind of bothered them the more they wore it. With this one, I did not feel that at all. I felt like it was in the right spot, gave me a lot of support in the places I needed it.
Was there anything with the shoe that you didn't really care for or didn't work for you?
Not really. One difference with this, I guess, that might work for some people is that I think the toe box is a little bit more narrow with this new upper. Like we said in the 15, it was very wide and very loosey-goosey. This is a little bit more of a narrow fit, but I personally have a little bit of a wider foot, and it still worked for me. It was still roomy enough to where I felt like I wasn't crammed in there, but it's just a little bit more of a narrow fit. So I think the lockdown is much better, but nothing really with this shoe really bothered me at all. So
awesome. Would you consider this as a shoe you would add to your own collection? Do you think it's worth the price point?
Yeah, I think so. The Saucony outsole seems to last a long time. All the Saucony shoes I've personally used, there's very durable rubber here. So I didn't have any problems with the durability at all. So yeah, I absolutely think it's worth the price point. I definitely would add it to my own collection for sure.
Well, thanks Seth for joining us and giving us your feedback. We always appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you in a couple more of our reviews.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching, guys. This has been Fitness Tested. Be sure to like and subscribe to keep up to date with all of our videos, and we will see you in the next one. Be sure to leave a like or a comment and let us know what you think.